Hello everyone and welcome. Today we would like to look at the supply chain of restaurants in Berlin in the time frame of 2020-2035, the foreseeable future, and analyze their main challenges and opportunities arising of these. Let us start with a pesto analysis that will provide us data that confirms the solid environment when it comes to the food sector in Germany, emphasizing the fact that food production in Germany is Germany's fourth largest industry. The political analysis showed us that the European Commission takes the problem of food waste very seriously and seeks different ways to avoid food waste and to shape the food supply chain in a sustainable manner. Also, the PESTO analysis provides us the market analysis of a German population where every fourth person buys at a local market with the intention to lower the environmental impact of climate change. Recent developments in farming, such as community-supported agriculture, which is a newly developed concept, or let's say livestock leasing, could have the potential to make farmers less dependent on global food markets and at the same time promote local businesses and help them strive. Now looking at the current structure of the supply chains of restaurants in Berlin, we have found and grouped the following issues. Firstly, there is a need for an improvement in communication, especially between the farmer and the restaurant owner, because currently there is simply no connection and no communication. Second, there is a need for a way to trace the food within the supply chain, to see where the food is actually coming from and how it is being produced. There is also need for lowering overproduction, leading in losing large quantities of food and therefore rising costs for all farmers and agricultural workers. Food waste within the supply chain management, meaning food waste has a huge impact on the environment. And last but not least, there is a need for a local supply chain in which there is no high competition, where small farmers have a chance of entering the market and share produce among each other. Currently, there is a huge issue that larger farms receive most of the funds from the European Commission and the small players are left behind, so the competition is not really active. In phase 1 of our research, we analyzed the pesto analysis and future trends that connect to our subject. These insights have led us to define the connected trends within the uncertainty matrix. A lot of technology innovations play a big role, and things like artificial intelligence, automation, and blockchain are placed, as you can see, on the far right side as for the high impact and both high uncertainty. We chose blockchain, as blockchain plays a major role in tracing food along the supply chain, provides transparency and collaboration between, for instance, farmers and restaurant owners, and even goes further with the implementation of smart contracts and instant secure payments. The uncertainty is high because of, for example, privacy regulation that may arise and that have to be taken into consideration, as well as not yet developed solutions for unlimited storage capacity. Next to technology trends go into the direction of local and organic food, a concept out of this area with a high uncertainty and a high impact is community-supported agriculture. This is our second most important trend. This is basically a system that connects the producer and consumers within the food supply system more closely by allowing the consumer to subscribe to the harvest of a certain farm or group of farms. In this matrix, we compare these two parameters, considering each with a high and low impact on the supply chain of restaurants in Berlin. In the first world, which is the top left scenario on the slide, for instance, farmers and restaurant owners, the uncertainty is high because of privacy regulations that may arise, as I have already mentioned. Amplifying the uncertainty, we have the four worlds. World 1. In this future scenario, both blockchain and community-supported agriculture play a major role in the restaurant owners' industry. It would be a world with greater transparency and traceability, leading to a greater sustainability with empowered farmers and improved supply and demand mechanism. The second world, the bottom left concept on the screen, community-supported agriculture plays a major role, while the second megatrend, so to say blockchain, is less significant. With community-supported, we mean more involvement by all relevant members and parties of the agricultural community and restaurants. This ensures better communication between the actors, which as well will increase competition and lower costs for the end consumer, thus assuring smarter production and less problems with fresh produce. The third world, the bottom right scenario on the screen. In this world scenario, no blockchain and no agricultural community support exists or plays a huge role, resulting in communication malfunction between the parties, which will cause food waste along the supply chain from, let us say, overproduction from the agricultural side, and with less technology used, such as blockchains, for instance, payment complications along the supply chain might occur. The last world, the fourth world, which you can see on the top right corner of the screen. In the fourth world future scenario, some concepts from the first world scenario are repeated, as the main driver here is the increased participation by the community in the agricultural food industry. Well-connected supply chain management is observed, as this benefits both the community, restaurant owners, and the agricultural industry. In this world scenario is observed almost no real connection between the main actors in the industry, meaning the farmer and the restaurant owner and end consumers. In order to provide a better analysis from each world, we created two imaginary persons that represent two different sides of the issue: the farmer Carl and also the restaurant owner Tom. Tom moved to Berlin when he was 20 to study German law. During his studies, he worked in a kitchen, helping, and once he was officially finished with his studies, he already knew he would never be a lawyer, as he found his real passion for cooking. He worked himself up the ladder through Berlin's nicest restaurants and eventually opened his own in Kreuzberg. Our second fictional character is Karl, 42 years old. He has always been a farmer. He loves to take care of his farm. The fields have always belonged to his family. He watches the news every day, also reads the papers and different communication channels as websites. Taking care of his farm is Karl's hobby, as teaching it to his son, who is currently 17. He loves it too, but he also loves technology and always teaches his father about the new trends in the farm. In the first world, Carl's technological farm provides him all the necessary data to have a successful plantation with low food waste. Carl feels good about keeping the transparency of his production to his buyers. He thinks that this is a nice way to improve the value of his farm. While Tom enjoys his hobby cooking in a technological restaurant, provided by real-time updates from his suppliers as well as incoming food tracking. No payments get lost anymore due to smart contract payments that can be done securely and safely through the same platform that connects the entire community of farmers, suppliers, and food service businesses. The second world, Tom runs his restaurants in close connection to some local farmers, where he has to order longer in advance, as edibles are natural products. Sometimes things don't work out and Tom has to rearrange everything on a short notice. On the other hand, Tom is proud to show his customers a face behind the products, and he is always happy when he can answer the question on where things come from. In the meantime, a good communication channel between farmers, producers, made a big difference in Carl's production. Now he knows what their neighbor farmers are planting, and what they find was to supply each other's needs when it comes to orders. He doesn't feel that food in this production is wasted, especially because the support between farmers made their environmental less competitive by supporting each other. On the other hand, he feels that the consumers still don't know the right amount to buy, especially because of the lack of communication between their parts. In the third world, food waste is a matter that really concerns Carol. He always plans too much and different types of products in order to assure that the buyers will have what and how much they want. Otherwise, he is afraid that he will lose buyers. Carl feels threatened by competition and that the community doesn't support local producers while they are still buying every time more imported products. And when it comes to Tom's restaurants, organizing the supply for his restaurants takes so much time, and he was willing to spend a lot of time communicating between each supplier on different channels trying to find the best offer. Also, he always tries to get the best offer whilst considering the environment and buy local if the supplier can name the source directly. Sometimes they cannot, as they are just the middleman in an endless supply chain. In the fourth world, the implementation of technology helps Tom to organize his supply easier. He also likes the fact that he wastes less food as his deliveries are less risky as he can track them in real time. The fact that this is not possible for Tom to always know where things come from making him sad. Also, he still sources a lot of things globally that could come from his area, but the personal connection to the farmers is difficult. When it comes to global products, Carl also feels it too, especially because buyers buy a lot of imported products, so he feels a lot for the food waste in his production. He enjoys the fact that with improved technology his payments are easy and also makes the planting control easier, which is a difficult task since he is working with a very big variety of products because he feels that this is the best way to attract buyers, even though he knows this makes him food waste. In order to identify and gather ideas that can fulfill the needs and wants of the personas, we go back and have a look at the four worlds to gather ideas per world per identified problem. Let's start with world number 3, the bottom right scenario on the slide. The main issue that can be addressed is creating a community supported agriculture. So, in other words said, an example can be created a network that connects farmers and restaurants. A possible solution can be to create an app between farmers and restaurants on one platform that is specific to their needs. An extra feature could be to connect these players with other third parties that can upcycle, recycle, and reuse their waste. Creating a platform between the two players would contribute to improving the connection and communication between the farmer and restaurants, but also can play a role in solving food waste. Looking now at world number 4, which you can see on the top right corner of the screen, the main issue identified in this world is traceability, as well as the removal of the middleman when it comes to supplying the demand between two parties. So connecting the players through a platform is key, which focuses on higher quality performance and lower costs. It solves the problem of traceability and is easier to regulate food safety. In world number 2, the bottom left concept of the slide, the most undesirable area to perform in. In this world, we can try to increase efficiency without utilizing community-supported agriculture, but we can be an organization that creates events that links industry and creates partners. Lastly, world number 1, which is the top left scenario on the screen. Here we can utilize the blockchain to support community agriculture, and it combines the solutions of worlds number 3 and 4. On this slide, you can see what we are dreaming of: a platform that connects the whole supply chain, supports the connection between local producers and distributors, all connected through the security of technology, transparency, and open for each party to track and control items and payments. A decentralized system making process easier by removing the middleman, offering real-time updates, making communication easier, and allowing a just-in-time supply to reduce food waste. And thank you so much for your attention. We are expecting your feedback. Thank you.